aturan jalan raya.
Good evening, you are tuned in to AWANI Tonight with me, Cynthia Ng. Savings of 4 billion ringgit from diesel subsidy cuts will be used to fund public transport and cash aid and not to fund ministers or ministries. Prime Minister Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim says the subsidy was only withdrawn from the wealthy and foreigners who do not pay taxes.
Sebahagiannya untuk tambah suntikan tunai rahmah yang kini sudah mencecah 10 bilion ringgit. Selain pada isara yang sudah naik dari 300 ke 700 ringgit. Ya. Bayangkan STR kita untuk 9 juta orang yang direct cash subsidy. Itu 10 bilion ringgit. Kemudian beberapa langkah-langkah lain kita ambil. Jadi wang itu bukan untuk naikkan allowance menteri. Ataupun yalah, untuk kepentingan lain.
The government set a new retail price for diesel effective midnight, June 10th, up from 2 ringgit 15 cents to 3 ringgit 35 cents per litre. The new price is only for Peninsular Malaysia and does not affect Sabah or Sarawak.
The Finance Ministry has clarified that the fleet card issued under the Subsidised Diesel Control System (SKDS) has a filling limit in terms of litres, not total value. Deputy Finance Minister Lim Hui Yeng says details on the utilisation of the fleet card will be announced soon by Second Finance Minister Dato Sri Amir Hamzah Azizan.
The fleet card issued under SKDS is valid for 33 types of public transport and goods vehicles. Last Sunday, the government announced that the retail price of diesel in Peninsular Malaysia has been set at 3 ringgit and 35 cents per litre, effective June 10th, under the targeted subsidy system. It would remain capped at 2 ringgit and 15 cents per litre in Sabah, Sarawak and Labuan. Meanwhile, responding to complaints from private diesel vehicle owners that the 200 ringgit monthly cash subsidy under the Budi Madani initiative was insufficient, Lim said the amount was adequate based on studies and engagements that had been conducted. She said it would be maintained for now, but would be reviewed based on further feedback.
The Health Ministry is investigating the incidents of a Form 5 student and a 2-year-old child who died due to food poisoning in Gombak. Deputy Health Minister Datuk Lukanisman Awang-Sauni says the ministry will issue a statement on the matter soon. The two who died consumed contaminated food brought home by family members. The victims' bodies were sent to the Selayang Hospital Forensic Unit for further action, and the case was classified as sudden death. Meanwhile, a total of 82 others also suffered food poisoning after having breakfast prepared for the same school program on Saturday. Malaysia has launched its first vaccine against dengue fever. Takeda's Qdenga dengue vaccine, which has been approved by the Drug Control Authority, is designed to protect against all 4 dengue viruses.
The vaccine requires 2 doses, 3 months apart, and can be administered to those aged 4 years and older. It will be available at general practitioner clinics and private hospitals. However, Takeda did not disclose the cost of the vaccine, saying it would be up to healthcare facilities to determine the price. The company added that it was working with the Health Ministry to introduce the vaccine to the public health sector. Malaysia recorded a total of 41,565 dengue cases and 28 deaths nationwide in the first quarter of this year.
The Higher Education Ministry will examine the need to balance the number of teaching hours for lecturers in the country's universities. Minister Dato Sri Zamri Abdul Kadir says the average number of teaching hours in universities at the moment is around 18 hours a week.
Zambri added that university lecturers had various teaching hours, depending on many factors such as their courses and the number of students. He said reviewing them would also allow for lecturers to have more time for other activities such as writing and research. Separately, Zambri said the ministry would prepare a course in mastering new areas of education related to artificial intelligence. He said all educators need to use their expertise in line with digital developments to contribute to the country's and society's development.
Disputes over territories in the South China Sea can only be resolved through diplomatic meetings, not military shows of force. Therefore, international studies and security analyst Dr. Romel Banlawi urges regional media outlets to promote an ASEAN-first narrative rather than sensationalizing conflicts.
Well, we need to highlight the ASEAN perspectives about how to deal with the South China Sea disputes, because if we will base the narrative on Western perspectives, you'll see a lot of military preparations, you'll see a lot of issues on military conflicts and negative imaging of China. But we want to hear the ASEAN voices of promoting greater cooperation, of avoiding conflict, and settling disputes through consensus and negotiations and through dialogue. That's the ASEAN way. The ASEAN way is to maintain the region, especially the South China Sea, as a region of peace and prosperity, and we want to hear those narratives.
He was speaking at the 3rd Mekong Journalism Training Workshop on the role of media in combating disinformation and fake news in AI contexts for regional peace, stability and prosperity, held in Phnom Penh last week. International Relations Institute of Cambodia, IRIC, organized the workshop in partnership with the Club of Cambodian Journalists, featuring over 70 media professionals and academics from countries including Malaysia, Cambodia, the Philippines and Indonesia.
We'll go for a quick break. Stay tuned for more.
Apa jua yang berlaku di sekeliling kita, pastinya ada punca dan kesan masing-masing. Faktor harga ekonomi, pengaruh politik dalam atau luar negara memberikan impak kepada kehidupan harian kita. Di Niaga Awani kami memberikan gambaran jelas melalui analisis mendalam, merentas pelbagai segmen dan latar belakang. Kami akan bantu anda untuk faham segalanya. Bisnes, ekonomi, pasaran, Niaga Awani, 9 pagi Isnin hingga Jumaat, hanya di Astro Awani.
Daulah tuanku.
Welcome back. The wreckage of a plane carrying Malawi's Vice President Salos Chilima has been found with no survivors. President Lazarus Chakwera says the defense forces found the aircraft completely destroyed. The 51-year-old Chilima was on board the military aircraft with 9 other people. The plane left the Southern African nation's capital, Lilongwe, at 9:17 a.m. when it disappeared from airport radars and lost contact with air traffic control. It was due to land in the northern city of Mzuzu 45 minutes later, but was turned back due to poor visibility. The military is now transporting their remains to Lilongwe, where funeral arrangements will be announced in due course. 4 American college instructors were stabbed while visiting a public park in Jilin province, China, in a rare instance of violent crime against foreigners in the country. The attack took place on Monday, and U.S. officials have confirmed that the victims are now recovering from their injuries in a hospital. Chinese authorities have yet to issue a response regarding the incident.
A video showing people lying on the ground covered in blood circulated on social media on Monday. However, the footage appeared to have been quickly censored on China's internet. Reuters was able to identify the park based on background details in the video, but could not verify when it was recorded. The U.S. State Department is monitoring the situation closely. Iowa State Representative Adam Zabner informed U.S. media that his brother, David, was among the group visiting a temple in the park when a man with a knife attacked them. The American tutors, Cornell College in Iowa, were in China as part of a partnership program with Beihua University.
Hundreds of dogs, cats, birds and snakes were killed after a massive fire tore through pet shops near the renowned Chatuchak market in Bangkok. The fire is believed to have started around 4 a.m. in the Sri Somrat market, which is adjacent to the larger Chatuchak market. According to the Bangkok Metropolitan Administration, the blaze impacted more than 100 shops in the pet zone. Officials managed to bring the fire under control within about an hour. There are no reports of human casualties. Authorities said that the blaze was started by an electrical short circuit. With tens of thousands of shops crowding narrow lanes, Chatuchak is one of Southeast Asia's biggest markets. It's also the largest of Thailand's weekend markets, drawing up to 100,000 tourists every Saturday and Sunday. But the portion of the market selling pets is open through the week. Conservation groups have previously expressed concerns about the sale of live animals in the area, including endangered species such as turtles, tortoises and birds. The UN Security Council has adopted a resolution endorsing a US-backed ceasefire proposal that aims to end Israel's 8-month assault on Gaza. The vote on the US-sponsored resolution was 14-0, with Russia abstaining.
The resolution, announced by US President Joe Biden last month, welcomes a 3-phase ceasefire proposal, which calls for an initial 6-week ceasefire and the exchange of some Israeli captives held in Gaza for Palestinian prisoners held in Israeli jails. The second phase would include a permanent ceasefire and the release of the remaining captives. The third phase would involve a reconstruction effort for the devastated Gaza Strip. The US says Israel has accepted the proposal, although some Israeli officials have since promised to continue the war until the elimination of Hamas. Meanwhile, Hamas says that it welcomed the resolution, expressing readiness to cooperate with the mediators to engage in indirect negotiations to implement resolution principles.
Singapore Airlines has offered compensation to those injured on a London to Singapore flight that encountered severe turbulence, resulting in 1 death and multiple injuries. Passengers with injuries requiring long-term medical care have been offered an advance payment of $25,000. Those with minor injuries have been offered $10,000.
A full refund on the airfare will be offered to all passengers, including those who did not suffer any injuries. 1 person died and dozens were hurt, including suffering severe spinal and brain injuries when Flight SQ321 experienced sudden extreme turbulence over the Irrawaddy Basin in Myanmar. The flight was diverted to Bangkok. According to Singapore's Transport Safety Investigation Bureau, the aircraft dropped 54 meters in under 5 seconds, with passengers experiencing rapid changes in G-force or vertical acceleration.
Malaysian press, together with an international media delegation, visited the Hajj Media Hub established by the Saudi Arabia's Ministry of Media in Mecca. Information related to the Hajj this season is provided to government agencies through various dashboards. There are also booths erected by government agencies in an effort to provide accurate information about this year's Hajj operation. During the Malaysian media visit, several dignitaries were also there to witness the operation of this centre. Among them is the Saudi Minister of Media, who took the opportunity to greet some journalists from various agencies from around the world. That wraps up AWANI Tonight. I'm Cynthia Ng. Thank you for watching.
Di sini mereka mengejar impian, bertanding demi menang.